Hello, everyone. It's Blind Metal Gamer here, and it's now time for another episode of the Blindside Podcast. In this episode, I'm going to be discussing my thoughts and making predictions on who I think will be a part of Dark Side of the Ring Season 4. We already have Dark Side of the Ring Season 3B announced, which that's going to consist of the XWF, FMW, XPW, Luna Vachon, Chris Canyon, Johnny K9, the Steroid Trials, and there's a couple other episodes in there. I can't think of them right offhand, but they're all going to be riveting and just really dark and foreboding. I cannot wait. And with that, I thought, who would be good for season 4? Whose story has not been told? Whose story has not been documented on Dark Side of the Ring? And in this episode, I'm going to discuss some prospects of who I think should be documented and whose stories I feel need to be told in the world of pro wrestling. And if Jason Husney or the other creators are listening to this podcast, the one that's released, I hope you guys get inspiration from it. So, I'm going to kick it off with Yokozuna. I think Yokozuna would be perfect because his story in wrestling, it's been documented by WWE, but it's not had that Dark Side of the Ring twist. I think that if they would go into that documentary with, the mindset of telling a story, using archival footage we've never seen, and then, go into detail on, of course, the issues leading up to his passing, which was his weight gain, and him not being able to get control of that, I would like to see as a fan, just as a viewing fan, what led to that? What led to causing Yokozuna to not be able to control his weight? Because there had to be an underlying factor in that. There had to be. Then another story that I feel needs to be told, and I feel deserves to be told, is that of Bam Bam Bigelow, the Beast from the East. His story in wrestling is amazing. For those who don't know, Bam Bam has never been inducted into the WWE Hall of Fame, and I feel that Dark Side of the Ring would be the perfect platform to tell his story, because it would be a way for the wrestling fans to, get to revisit Bam Bam's career, maybe discuss some of his other ventures outside of wrestling, discuss the sad, unfortunate passing he had, which, and hopefully if they did that, maybe WWE would wake up and give Bam Bam a posthumous Hall of Fame induction. There was even a thing I saw on a YouTube video, WrestleMania, shout out to them, where Bam Bam saved children from a burning building. See, that's never been documented. And I think that Dark Side of the Ring would be a great way to document all of Bam Bam's story and what he did before wrestling. Then another person that I feel really deserves to have their story told. Grandmaster Sexay, Brian Christopher, the son of Jerry the King Lawler. Yeah, I bet y'all didn't know that. Brian Christopher's story has never been told or never been documented by WWE. And if it has, it's just been little clips about him and his dad, Jerry Lawler. But I think what they should do is go all in. Go the whole way with it and tell Brian Christopher's story as to how he got into the USWA, got into WWE, and then what happened to him after his exit from WWE and all of that. And then another person I feel that needs to have their story told, Matt Osborne, the original Doink the Clown. I feel that Doink the Clown needs to have his story told. I mean, it's been documented on other YouTube videos, yeah, but I feel like a proper Dark Side of the Ring documentary would be a fitting way to do him justice. Let's see, Gangrel's story should be told in Dark Side of the Ring Season 4. We get Luna Vachon this season, so maybe tell David Heath Gangrel's story. And then, let's see, who else? Who can I think of? Gentleman Chris Adams. Gentleman Chris Adams, I think, is another one from the world-class era that needs to have his story documented. I mean, yeah, there's that Gentleman's Choice documentary, but, it's something that I feel needs to be told on Dark Side of the Ring because his story is so intriguing and so unique about how he, got into wrestling and how he had his demons and his conversion to Christianity and how all of that went down and all that stuff. Let's see. Another person for Dark Side of the Ring season 4. I know Marty Janetti. There's another one. Marty Janetti could be one that could be on there because, again, his story within the world of pro wrestling, his career, his teaming with Shawn Michaels as the Rockers, um, and then the Midnight Rockers and the AWA prior to becoming the Rockers and the big split and what's been going on with Marty nowadays. I feel like that story needs to be told, and Dark Side of the Ring is the best place to do it because as is all of these names I'm mentioning because they all have a dark, foreboding tale to tell, and I feel that Dark Side of the Ring would be the perfect platform for their stories to be told to the world. And then, let's see, after Marty Janetti, Viscera, Big Daddy V, King Mabel. He's another one that they could use for season 4 or 5 because, again, his story has never been documented. And when he passed in 2014, WWE didn't do any type of a tribute for him until they were begged by fans to get it done via an eye catch. So I think that Big Daddy V of Viscera needs to have his story told via Dark Side of the Ring. Beautiful Bobby Eaton would be another one to consider. Let's see. Mike Awesome would be another one to possibly consider in there too because of his involvement with FMW, ECW. But going into more in depth on Mike's career, he's in ring work with Masato Tanaka and all of that stuff. And then, of course, tell his story. Then another one that I feel needs to be told would be another Federation piece. That would be Combat Zone Wrestling, CZW, because we had the Nick Gage episode about him and how he went into deathmatch wrestling, and it went into documentary about what his brother did, and I had no clue that happened until I watched the Nick Gage episode as part of season 3. But, I noticed that with 3B, they're going to be doing 2 promotions, FMW and XPW. If they go for season 4 and do a 3rd promotion, do Combat Zone Wrestling, give CZW the Dark Side of the Ring treatment. I think that would be a very good fitting episode for Dark Side of the Ring. Let's see, another one that would be another good episode for Dark Side of the Ring, or another person. Let's see, Nikita Koloff. I'm sure would be a good one because I'm sure that he's had some dark days in wrestling, and I feel like he would be one that would be good to be told. And then another promotion, WCCW. I mean, I know WCCW has been documented, but they could go into more detail. They could also do a part 2 of that, which would be the USWA, the United States Wrestling Association, which is what WCCW became back in 1988, 1989, after Jerry Jarrett bought it from Fritz von Erich. So that could be another possibility. And then I want to get at least 1 or 2 more here as far as thoughts and speculations. Kurt Hennig, Mr. Perfect. I know, again, he's been documented via WWE and other sources, but I feel like, again, given that Dark Side of the Ring treatment would really open up Kurt's story and Kurt's what happened to Kurt, after wrestling and the plane ride from hell, which they're going to cover in season 3B. Yeah, the plane ride from hell was the other thing. That's what I was thinking of earlier. Yeah, the plane ride from hell in season 3B. So why don't they do a full-on thing on Kurt? And then maybe Ravishing Rick Rude would be another one that they could really go in depth on and tell his story too. And then, oh man, there's just so many. Um, Bobby the Brain Heenan. We could tell his story. The Blackjacks, Blackjack Mulligan and Blackjack Lanza. That would be one that would be a possibility. Because, we did the Road Warriors. Why don't they do the Blackjacks? Not the New Age Blackjacks with Barry Windham and Bradshaw. I'm talking the originals, Blackjack Mulligan and Blackjack Lanza. That would be insane. I would definitely be ready to sit down and watch that, and it would probably be a tearjerker too. Then let's see, any other promotions or wrestlers that really need to have their story told. That kind of taps it out as far as the ideas and whatnot that could be done for season 4. I mean, we've already done Chris Benoit. We've already done Brian Pillman. There's just so many, but that's all the ones I can think of now. So, if you all have any suggestions or anything you would like to see me talk about on the cast, feel free to leave me a voice message. Don't be shy. Leave me a voice message and say, hey, Blind Metal Gamer, why don't you talk about this? Or do this topic. Then, if you want to stay up to date with all the episodes that I've produced or will be producing in the future, be sure to follow me on Spotify, which the link, you just search Blind Metal Gamer, go to my podcast, The Blind Side, will pop up, and just hit that follow button to keep up with all the action. So, with that being said, these have been my predictions and my speculations for what could be a part of Dark Side of the Ring Season 4, as far as stories that need to be told in the pantheons of professional wrestling. Until next time, I've been your host, Blind Metal Gamer, saying so long everyone, and peace out.